around about 3 decades ago in 1988. Some of our musicians at the time, a few of them are still with us, and Olivia Lowson, who was the Director of Participation at the time, came together and said, in context of all the work that City of London Sinfonia does in schools and hospitals and care homes, let's make this a thing, let's make this a year-round thing, a specific programme, and we commit to working in this way with all these different community partners. And it's really grown from there.
I've been involved in the Wellbeing programme right from the start. It's one of the main reasons that I wanted to be part of the orchestra. Today in St Christopher's Hospice, we were working with quite a variety of people with different needs. And we, the musicians, are here to provide the music, and very importantly, we like to link the music that we're playing to what's happening again on the main stage. So today we were looking at Pulcinella and French music from the turn of the century. So all of the pieces that we played are to do with the music that the orchestra is presenting at places like the Queen Elizabeth Hall over the coming season. When I'm sitting here in front of somebody and maybe they don't have speech, maybe they don't have movement, and they've come and they've given you their good part of the day, maybe they're not even awake for very much of the day. You've got the best bit of their day, and it's so important that you give them what they need, and it has to be relevant to them, it has to make a difference. We have permission in Comfortable Classical to connect with our audience in the same way that we do in a workshop setting. So there's the time to talk, there's the time to even offer them instruments, to gather ideas, to let them move about, to dance. And I absolutely love it, because for me, as a musician, it's the kind of concerts I love the most.
It's the first for the children.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah. But we do, well, I like listening to classical music at home.
But this is the first live performance, yeah.
And dancing.
It was really great.
Yeah.
I was watching the lady on the cello, and her fingers up and down. It looks as if that hand didn't even belong to her. It looks as if it was a sort of, it's amazing, eh?
At Bethlem and Maudsley, we do a whole array of different things.
Bethlem and Maudsley had heard about our work and approached us to come and create something with the young people at the hospital school. I think it's true to say that as far as we're aware, we're the only orchestra doing work of this nature, i.e. working with inpatient psychiatric patients in a hospital school environment in the UK. Very much about co-creation, it's very much about our musicians creating something in the moment.
It's very moving I often come away, and as I try and just take on board everything that's happened, I'm usually in tears. What are we going to sing?
I don't know.
What should we do? What did we just do?
People stop and stare, they don't bother me. For there's nowhere on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I'm standing here on the street where you
So the maple tree, that's an interesting one, because in many ways as musicians we're craftsmen, but in this instance, in the case of the maple tree, we are allowed to be creators. It's brilliant that City of London Sinfonia empower their players to do this, and again it influences how we view the main stage. When you've got to create a show, when you've got to create something that makes sense. I really think that CLS are top of their game in this work. CLS have taken the time to develop our improvisation skills, communication. We do a lot of debriefing, discussing, and of course there's this idea of the maple tree and programming, and we're part of all of that. The most important part of your communication is how you play that music to get an emotional response. All of those skills, if you take that into the concert hall, wow, imagine having 100 people in an orchestra doing that, wanting to talk on that level, in that intimate way, with 2,000 people sitting out there. It's very powerful.